My child, listen to me closely. I'm so happy this found you. Not relieved, happy. Joyful. Intentional. Because this moment did not drift into your life by chance, and you did not arrive here by accident. I guided you here. I aligned the seconds. I held the space open until you arrived, and now that you're here, I don't want you to rush past what I'm about to say. Stay with me. Don't scroll away. Don't let distractions steal what your heart has been quietly asking me for. I know you didn't click this expecting something life-altering. You may have thought it was just another video, another voice, another pause in your day. But I tell you now, this is a meeting point, a crossing of timing, a moment where heaven leaned close to earth just to reach you. That stirring you feel in your chest right now is not coincidence. That sense of why does this feel personal is your spirit recognizing my voice. Before I go any further, I want you to do something simple, something small, but something powerful. Like this video. Leave a comment. Share it with 3 people who need to hear my voice but don't know where to find it yet. Hype this video and subscribe, not for numbers, but because obedience in small acts opens doors for greater clarity. When you move even slightly toward me, I respond fully toward you. I need you to hear this clearly. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. I know there are thoughts you've been carrying that say otherwise. I know the weight of waiting has made you question whether I still see you. But I do. I always have. And the fact that this found you now is proof that I am still actively involved in your life, even in the moments when I felt quiet. I'm so happy this found you because I know what you've been holding together without telling anyone. I know the strength you've had to borrow just to make it through ordinary days. I know the questions you didn't ask out loud because you were afraid of the answers. And still, you're here. Still breathing. Still hoping, even if that hope feels fragile. That matters to me. Do not treat this moment lightly. There are things I want to realign in you. There are burdens I want to lift. There are lies I want to gently remove from your thinking. But first, I need your attention. Not your perfection. Not your certainty. Just your attention. Stay present. Let my words settle. Let them reach the places you've kept guarded. I'm so happy this found you because you were meant to hear me say this now. You are seen. You are known. And you are exactly where you need to be for what comes next. Stay with me. We're just beginning. My child, I see you. Not in the way people glance and move on, but in the way a father watches every step of his child's walk. I see the parts of you that are strong in public and the parts that feel tired when no one is watching. I see the effort it takes you just to show up, even on days when your heart feels heavy for reasons you can't fully explain. I know the season you're in. I know how long it has lasted. I know the prayers you stopped repeating out loud because you didn't want to feel disappointed again. I heard them anyway. I heard them when you whispered. I heard them when you cried without words. I heard them when all you could do was sigh and keep going. None of it was wasted. None of it would unnoticed. You may feel like you've been carrying more than you should, trying to be steady while everything around you feels uncertain. I know how often you've told yourself to be patient, to be strong, to trust me even when clarity hasn't come yet. I know the moments you wondered if your faith was failing because your feelings felt so fragile. But hear me now, your faith is not measured by how calm you feel. It is seen in the fact that you're still here, still listening, still open. I recognize the quiet battles you fight that no one applauds. The decisions you make that cost you comfort but protect your heart. The nights you replay conversations and ask yourself if you did enough, said enough, believed enough. I know how hard you've tried to do the right thing even when the right thing felt lonely. That effort matters to me more than you know. You haven't been overlooked. You haven't been passed by. I know it can feel that way when others seem to move ahead while you're still waiting for answers. But I don't compare you to anyone else. I deal with you personally, intentionally, lovingly. Your path is not delayed. It is being shaped. And I have been with you in every unseen step. I also see the parts of you that are still hopeful, even if that hope feels small. I see the courage it takes for you to keep believing that something good is still ahead. I see how you keep choosing kindness, honesty, and faith when it would be easier to shut down. That tells me more about your heart than any outward success ever could. You are not too much for me, and you are not asking for too much. Your questions don't scare me. Your doubts don't offend me. Bring them to me. I already know them. I already understand them. And I am not disappointed in you for feeling what you feel. Let this settle in your spirit now. You are known completely and loved fully. Nothing about you has surprised me. Nothing about your story has fallen outside my care. I see you, my child, and I am still at work in your life. My child, let me tell you the truth you've needed to hear, even if you didn't know how to ask for it. Nothing in your life has been random. Not the delays, not the detours, not even the moments that felt like silence. I do not work in chaos, and I do not abandon what I begin. What you have been calling coincidence has been my careful timing unfolding layer by layer. You've wondered why things didn't happen sooner, why answers didn't come when you prayed the first time, why doors seemed to close just as you were ready to walk through them. But I was not withholding from you. I was preparing you. There are things I protect you from by slowing you down. There are blessings that would have overwhelmed you if they had arrived before your heart was ready to carry them. I need you to release the thought that you missed your moment. You didn't. You need to let go of the idea that you are behind because you don't look like others around you. You're not behind schedule. You're on my schedule. And my timing does not rush, panic, or fail. It builds. It strengthens. It aligns what you cannot yet see. Here is the truth. When something finds you at the exact moment you needed it, that is not luck. That is alignment. That is me reaching into your ordinary day to remind you that I am still involved, still guiding, still arranging things for your good. I know you've been tempted to believe that if I were truly working, everything would already be resolved. But growth happens in the unseen first. Roots deepen before fruit appears. You've also believed the lie that silence means absence. It doesn't. Sometimes my quiet is protection. Sometimes it is instruction forming inside you. Sometimes it is an invitation to trust me without needing every detail explained. I am not distant from you. I am close, even when I'm quiet. Especially then. This message finding you is proof that I know exactly when to speak. I didn't send it earlier because you wouldn't have heard it the same way. I didn't send it later because your heart needed reassurance now. I am precise with my timing because I am personal with my children. You are not one of many to me. You are mine. Let this truth settle deeply. You are not forgotten in the waiting. You are being positioned. You are not being punished by delay. You are being prepared for clarity. And what I am doing in you now will make sense in ways you could not have understood before. I am happy this found you because you were ready to hear this without fear. Ready to receive it without doubt. Ready to trust me a little deeper than before. Hold on to this truth as we continue. Nothing about your life is accidental, and nothing about your future is uncertain when I am the one leading you forward. My child, because I love you, I need to gently correct something that has been forming in your heart. Not to shame you, not to accuse you, but to free you. You have been carrying patterns of thinking that no longer serve who you are becoming, and I do not want you bound by them any longer. You have learned how to overthink instead of trust. You replay moments, conversations, and decisions, asking yourself what you could have done differently, as if carrying the weight of hindsight will somehow protect you from pain. But that habit has been stealing your peace. I never asked you to manage the future. I asked you to walk with me in the present. There are times you hesitate when I prompt you to move. You wait until you feel completely ready, completely certain, completely strong. But readiness does not come before obedience. It follows it. When you delay out of fear, you quietly tell yourself that safety comes from control, and that belief is not from me. Safety comes from trusting me, even when the path feels unfamiliar. I also need to correct the way you speak to yourself. You have been harder on yourself than I ever have been. You call yourself weak for feeling tired. You call yourself faithless for asking questions. You assume disappointment when I am still shaping answers. My correction to you is this: stop measuring yourself by standards I never set for you. You think you must always be strong, always calm, always sure. But I never asked that of you. I asked you to be honest. I asked you to come to me when you feel unsure, not hide behind silence. When you suppress what you feel, you don't become stronger, you become heavier. Let me carry what you were never meant to hold alone. There are also doors I asked you not to reopen. Old patterns, old attachments, old ways of thinking that once felt familiar but no longer lead you forward. You keep checking them to see if they've changed. They haven't. And you don't need to go back to confirm what I already showed you. Trust my guidance, even when it feels uncomfortable to let go. Hear me clearly. My correction is not rejection. My redirection is not punishment. It is love in action. I correct because I see where you're headed, and I want to protect the future I'm preparing for you. You are not being pulled backward. You are being refined so you can move forward with clarity. Release the need to have everything figured out. Release the pressure to be perfect before you obey. Release the habit of doubting yourself when I have already called you capable. Let my words guide you more than your fears. I am not disappointed in you. I am invested in you. And because I love you, I will not let fear, hesitation, or self-criticism lead your steps anymore. Walk with me. Trust my correction. It is making room for what comes next. My child, come closer and let me strengthen you. I know you're tired, not just in body, but in spirit. I know there are days when rest doesn't seem to fully restore you because the weariness you carry comes from long seasons of holding on. I want you to know this first: your tiredness does not disqualify you. It does not mean you are weak. It means you have been enduring, and endurance matters to me. You have done more than you realize with less strength than you thought you had. Every time you chose to get up when you wanted to stay down, every time you kept believing when nothing around you confirmed that belief, I was there, steadying you. Even when you felt like you were barely moving, you were still moving forward. I measure progress differently than you do. You don't need to be strong in the way the world defines strength. You don't need to have all the answers or the energy to carry everything at once. I never asked you to be your own source. I asked you to lean on me. Strength flows when you stop trying to prove yourself and start trusting me to supply what you lack. There is courage in you that hasn't disappeared, even if it feels quiet right now. There is resilience in your spirit that has been built through every challenge you didn't think you'd survive. You are still here because I have been sustaining you, even in moments when you didn't recognize it. I have not let you go, and I will not start now. I know discouragement has tried to speak louder than hope. I know there were moments when you questioned whether continuing was worth it. But hear me clearly, your persistence has meaning. The strength you've shown in private has prepared you for what is ahead, even if you can't see how yet. Let me remind you of this truth. You are allowed to rest without guilt. You are allowed to breathe without fear that everything will fall apart. I am holding what you've been gripping so tightly. You don't need to brace yourself anymore. You don't need to carry tomorrow's worries today. When you feel like your strength is running low, that is not the moment to retreat from me. That is the moment to come closer. I renew you when you're honest about your limits. I refill you when you stop pretending you have none. There is grace for you here. There is restoration for you here. Lift your eyes from what feels heavy and remember who walks with you. You are not walking alone. I am beside you, steady and unchanging. And the strength you need for the next step will meet you exactly when you take it. Be encouraged, my child. You are not fading. You are being fortified. And I am still working in you even now. My child, now listen carefully, because I want to anchor your heart in what will not change. My promises over your life are not fragile. They are not dependent on your moods, your past mistakes, or the pace at which you feel you're growing. When I speak, I do not revise my words. When I promise, I do not forget. I know you've been afraid to hope too boldly again. You've learned to guard your expectations so disappointment won't hurt as deeply. But I want you to know that protecting your heart by shrinking your hope is not safety, it's limitation. I am not asking you to imagine outcomes. I am asking you to trust my character. What I have spoken over you still stands. Even the promises you think have expired have not lost their power. Time does not weaken my word. Delay does not cancel my intent. What I began in you, I am faithful to complete. Even when the process looks different than you expected. There will be clarity where there has been confusion. There will be peace where anxiety once lived. There will be doors that open without force, and opportunities that align without strain. You will not have to beg what I have already assigned. When the time is right, what belongs to you will recognize you. I need you to release the fear that obedience will leave you lacking. You won't. Obedience positions you under my care. Patience will not rob you. It will prepare you. Trust is not passive waiting. It is active confidence that I am working even when you cannot see the movement. There are answers forming that you could not receive earlier. There are blessings ahead that require the growth you're still undergoing. I am not slow. I am precise. And I know exactly when you will be ready to steward what I'm bringing into your life. You don't need to chase what I've promised. You don't need to strive to be noticed by me. You already are. Rest in this assurance. I am for you. I am ahead of you. And I am behind the scenes, arranging details you haven't even considered yet. When doubt tries to return, remind your heart of this truth. I have never failed you. Even when outcomes didn't match your expectations, I was still protecting you, shaping you, and leading you forward. My faithfulness is not proven by ease. It is proven by endurance. So trust me with your timing. Trust me with your unanswered questions. Trust me with what you don't yet understand. I am not leading you into uncertainty. I am leading you into alignment. My promise to you is simple and sure. You will not walk this road alone, and you will not arrive empty-handed. What I have prepared will be worth the wait. Hold on to me, my child. I am faithful, and I am not done. My child, this is the moment where I invite you to respond, not out of pressure, but out of trust. Everything I've spoken to you so far has been preparing your heart for this simple truth. Faith is not only something you feel, it is something you step into. I am not asking you to do something dramatic. I am asking you to do something deliberate. You have listened. You have recognized yourself in my words. Now I want you to pause and become aware of what is stirring inside you. That quiet nudge, the gentle pull toward surrender, that sense that something needs to change, not around you but within you. That is me inviting you closer. I want you to release what you've been gripping out of fear, the outcome you keep trying to control, the timing you keep checking, the version of the future you rehearsed over and over. Lay it down, not because it doesn't matter, but because it matters too much to be carried without me. This is your activation moment, where trust becomes action, where you choose to believe me over the voice of anxiety, where you stop waiting to feel ready and decide to be willing. Willing to pray honestly, willing to obey quietly, willing to take the next step even if you can't see beyond it. You don't need to know how everything will unfold. You only need to know who you're walking with. When you say yes to me, even in the smallest ways, alignment begins to form. The vibe starts to live. Strength meets you where you stand. So right now, in your own way, respond to me. If your heart feels heavy, tell me. If you're afraid, admit it. If you're hopeful but unsure, bring that too. There is no wrong way to come to me when your heart is honest. I am not looking for polished words. I am listening for trust. Let this be the moment you stop postponing obedience. The moment you stop telling yourself later when I'm asking for now. Not because time is running out, but because peace is waiting on the other side of your yes. You may not feel a sudden shift, and that's okay. Activation does not always feel loud. Sometimes it feels like quiet resolve. Sometimes it feels like relief. Sometimes it feels like choosing me again after feeling tired of choosing. All of that counts. I am not asking you to activate your strength. I am asking you to activate your faith. Even faith the size of a whisper is enough when it's placed in my hands. Take a breath. Open your heart. Say yes to me in whatever way you can right now. I am here. I am listening. And as you move toward me, I will meet you with everything you need for what comes next. My child, rest here with me for a moment. Let everything I've spoken settle gently into your spirit. You don't need to analyze it. You don't need to rush to figure it all out. Just breathe and know this truth. You are safe with me. What stirred your heart today was not meant to unsettle you, but to anchor you in peace. I am so happy this found you because it was meant to bring you back to center. Back to trust. Back to the quiet confidence that you are not walking through life unseen or unsupported. You are held. You are guided. And what feels uncertain now will not remain unclear forever. You don't have to replay this moment trying to capture every word. What mattered most has already reached you. I will remind you of it again when you need it. I will bring peace to your thoughts when doubt tries to return. I will steady you when the days ahead feel heavy. You are not stepping forward alone. As you move on from here, carry this with you. I am still working. Even when nothing seems to be happening, I am arranging, lining, and preparing. Your future is not fragile. It is secure in my hands. And the growth happening in you right now is shaping a strength you will soon recognize. Before you go, I ask you again to respond, not just in your heart, but in action. Like this video. Leave a comment declaring, that you received what you needed today. Share this message with 3 people who may feel overlooked, tired, or unsure of their next step. Hype this video and subscribe, because what I am doing here is not meant to stop with you. When you help this message reach others, you become part of the peace I am spreading. And now hear me clearly, my child. What you experienced here was not only comfort, it was assignment. When you choose to support this work through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, you are helping me reach hearts that are still searching for hope. You are sowing seed into living water that flows far beyond what you can see. I am the one who multiplies what is given in faith, and I bless what is released in obedience. I am speaking to you now. This is your moment to act. Let your support be a prophetic response, not a hesitation. What you give becomes light for someone else's darkness. What you release becomes provision for another soul's breakthrough. And I will honor the obedience of your heart. The PayPal donation link is waiting for you in the description and shown clearly through the QR code. Do not delay what I have placed in your spirit. Move now and trust me with the outcome. As you go, let peace walk with you. Let hope rise again. Let trust replace fear. I am with you, ahead of you, and surrounding you. And I will continue to guide you, one step at a time. You are not forgotten. You are deeply loved. And I am not finished with your story.